As of right now, we are pulling out the rear ends of both cars. And the reason being is we are going to use the Haldex and rear end from the RS3 itself. So we can actually upgrade it in the car. The RS3 rear end is a stronger rear end. So we try to keep that all with the swap itself. We also pulled out the gas tank and we're in the process of putting it back into the car now. So we actually swapped the gas tank too because some of the siphon stuff in it is better and allows for more power. So we try to keep the full Golf R RS3 and swap in as many parts as possible. We don't have to swap the whole subframe, but we are because that subframe only has 12,000 miles on it, and we're just trying to keep with the theme of using newer parts in his Golf R itself. So as of right now, we are actually relocating the battery into the back of the trunk of the car right now. Because in the Golf R, it's actually in the front. So now we're gonna put it into the back of the car and use all the factory RS3 stuff to do it. So he's actually drilling a hole into the body so we could set the cable through and kind of set it up into a factory location in the car itself. So basically we're drilling a hole into the body of the car just so we can keep with the theme of being OEM in the car, because in the RS3 they actually have an access hole in the frame rail itself. So we drill a hole here so you can still access the motor mount bolts and be able to service the car as if it was an RS3. So that's it. As you can see, in about, 3 days, both motors are out. A new motor is in, rear end's out, rear end's exchanged, gas tank's out, gas tank's exchanged. That's pretty much it. There's a lot of little work that we did here and there and tried to swap everything over to make it still work perfectly, but that's all we did. 3 days time. Pretty much the bulk of all the hard parts are in. Now it's down to the little nitty gritty stuff with wiring and brakes and little stuff that you guys don't see behind the scenes, but you know, that's it. The motor swapped in and ready to go. So now we're at the point of basically pulling all the smaller stuff out of the car. So we're gonna pull out the RS3 brakes to swap over to the Golf R, and then we're gonna get into the interior. So we're gonna be pulling out the front seats, rear seats, steering wheel, and the shift knob itself. So at the end of the day, this thing's gonna be a full out RS3 when we're all done with it. So we are gonna try to swap in all the seats from the RS3. We know that the front seats fit and we can rewire them and make them work and all that. The only thing we have a question is the rear seats themselves. We're not sure if the backs to the rear seats are gonna fit, but we're gonna try to put them in the car and see what happens. We're trying to go with the full RS3 treatment on this car. So we're even gonna like change the shift knob and all that too. So it'd be cool if we can get those in. I mean, these seats look extremely good compared to the Golf R stuff. So this thing really would be a mini RS3 when we're all done. So that's pretty much it. As you can see, the RS3 motor swapped in, front end is on, and it's all pretty much cleaned up. There's a few odds and ends that we still have to do to the car. We gotta put the intercooler in, we're gonna custom fabricate an intercooler, finish up the exhaust, and kind of put in the intake. But that's everything in there. The car runs, it moves, AC system's charged, it's good to go. The swap is pretty much 99% done from here, and it's time to give it back and see what he thinks of the car.